Hello class, this first video is going to cover the beginning of the Unit 9 Circles Test Review 1. We're going to go through the vocabulary words. I think I've explained to you before, the best strategy I know for doing vocabulary, especially with long lists, is to actually just go through the definitions and then figuring out which ones they match up with. If you get the right answer, you cross it off and move on. If you don't, you skip it and move on, and then hopefully by the end you'll have narrowed the last couple questions down that maybe you weren't clear on or didn't know. So let's take a look at letter A. A segment with endpoints that are on the circle. Endpoints on the circle. So anything inside of a circle that touches the two sides, that would be a chord. So let's take a look at chord. That's going to be letter A. Letter B, a chord that intersects the center of the circle. Well, if we have a chord that goes through the center, that would have to be a diameter. So that's going to be letter B. Letter C, a line that intersects a circle at exactly 1 point. That means it has to travel outside the circle, otherwise it would be touching it at 2 points. And we know that's a tangent line. So letter C is tangent. To scroll down here. Here's letter C. Letter D. A piece of the circumference of a circle. Now this one could be a little bit tricky because in the definitions we have arc, which I know is the piece of a circumference, and then we have intercepted arc, which is also a piece of the circumference, but this is a specific type of arc, whereas the general piece of a circumference of a circle is just an arc. So we're going to label that one as a D. Letter E, a part of the area. By the way, I put circumference here because I know it's going to be arc or something else. A part of the area of a circle cut out by a central angle. So if I've got a central angle and I cut a piece out, you can see that's a sector. So let's, I can see sector on the bottom of my screen here. So sector is E. Letter F, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Circumference to its diameter. Well, that's the definition of pi. Letter G, an arc whose endpoints are on a diameter. So I'll draw a circle and I'll put endpoints that are on a diameter, and if I look at that, there's my arc. That would be half the circle or a semicircle. So letter G is semicircle. H, a segment with one end point at the center and the other on the circle. Well, that would be clearly a radius. Hope you guys see that. In many cases, just drawing the diagram will help you narrow down the answer. I don't like that H. Let's fix that. There we go. All right. I, the formula for the area of a circle. Well, area equals pi r squared. The way I keep track of those classes, area is always in square units. This is the formula that has a squared term. So pi r squared, that's going to be 15. That's going to be I. J, an angle whose vertex is at the center of the circle. A vertex is at the center of the circle. That's a central angle. So J is a central angle. Letter K, drawn inside of shape so the vertices are touching that shape. So something drawn inside of a shape so the vertices are touching that shape. If you kind of picture that, we've done this before, like there's a triangle. Well, that triangle is inscribed because drawn inside of a shape and its vertices are touching the shape. So that would be inscribed, which is K. Be careful between that one and inscribed angle. That's a specific type of angle inside of a circle. Letter L, the piece of the circumference cut out. It's the circumference cut out by the sides of an angle. So if we drew that one, you would see that we're going to draw an angle, and we're going to cut this piece out. We've been calling that an intercepted arc. L is intercepted arc. Letter M, the space inside a shape measured in squared units. Well, you know, class, if we're measuring the inside or find the inside of a shape, that is the area of a shape. So number 2 is M. Letter N, the formula for the circumference of a circle. Well, circumference is 2 pi r. That is number 16. So 16 is N. Letter O, an angle whose vertex is on the circle. There's an angle with a vertex on the circle. That is an inscribed angle. So that is number 8 is O. And then let's see if we've done this well. P is the distance around a circle. That'd be a circumference. And that's the one we have left. So there is the practice vocabulary section.